it wasn't a hiring or whatever. Everybody was like super weird about recruiting, but the more we did it, the more I started to love it and really, really got into it. And like, um, why do you guys think it's so important to be recruiting, especially in this business? I mean, everybody recruits, right? Everybody recruits in every industry, every business, every manager is always recruiting. But why is it so important here?
We need to we need to get our word out there, right? So we that is just another way of getting the word out. Like we are our own commercial for Primerica, right? So but also if like I want to build a business that I can step away from at some point. Um I am already older than a lot of you right now, but I don't want to be working for forever still, right? But now I've gotten my chance to get to a point where I don't have to. So I want to build my office. I want to build a team and work on that. So that's why I think that Shelby's been doing great at that lately.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely super important and super great just because we can like spread out and be able to help a lot more people. Um, it's not just about the recruiting aspect, it's the people that we can reach through the recruiting.
Definitely. Definitely. It's such an interesting dynamic and I love it. I really do. And another thing that I love about the more recruiting you do, the more you stay in a warm market. You know, people talk about, oh, I blew through my warm market. I blew through my hot market. I've got nobody else to talk to. Well, guess what? You don't have to have a hot market, your own hot market, because that's the power of recruiting and field training is you are teaching other people how to use their warm market. So you're constantly in a warm market. So there's really no such thing as you ran out of a hot market or a warm market. You just need another recruit. That's all that
Right.
is.
Exactly. Thinking about that the other day because I have a couple people that are just so excited about it when they've gotten started and they just see the value and I can see them like they're asking questions and they're just excited about that what they're going to do about it what with it and everything and that's a big difference between some other people that start and they're like crickets, right? They don't talk to me, they don't do anything. Like I'm like, okay, I think I like those other people better. Not that I'd like them better, but like the person, that kind of recruit is who I want to look for. I want that kind of person in my business,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
cool. It's you can always anybody can build a business on their own. That's always possible. You know, when people come in and they start and they say, "Oh, no, this is a great opportunity. This is a great financial company. It's I can see the benefits of this company over, one of the other companies and things, but do I have to recruit?" Well, no, you don't have to recruit, but the cool thing is that you get to recruit. You don't you kind of are in charge of building your own team and things like that. And Karen, you were just talking about the kind of people that you're looking for when you are recruiting. What kinds of people are you looking for when you're out recruiting and looking for new recruits? What kind of people are you guys looking for?
well, I'm looking like Shelby, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely look for the people that are super excited after they watch the video. Like a lot of people that watch the video, they're like, "Yeah, I watched the video. I'll be on at 11 or whatever time you're scheduled." But those people that are like, "I really like that video. I really enjoyed this," and you're not even on a call with them yet. Like they're the ones that are like already, yeah, Calvin, social butterflies or Sierra. So that, but um, they're definitely more like personable, more willing to like talk back to you. I have quite a few recruits right now and I'm hearing crickets. And I'm like, okay, guys, like I just need a text back with like a thumbs up that like I know you're alive, like
Yeah.
something. And crickets. But yeah, so the people that are definitely more like, I want to tell everybody about this. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
Let's sign your IBA. Let's go.
Right. I have had, I don't know if she's on here yet, but Michelle, she even got on the call, she was like, I'm so excited, I'm pumped. And after she watched the video, I'm like, okay, I'm excited too, right? Like I'm excited for you already because so like there's people like that exactly, Shelby, like people that see the value in what we do and the excitement of it. that's the kind of people that I want to work with, right? Now we all have a chance. So if somebody's not that super pumped, right? But they still want to get started, we want to help them, but the ones that are so super excited, that's who I like to see, especially those who are, and also those who like are already saying, oh, my friend would love this, oh, this, and they're already talking about all the people that will love it, right? So
I think
It's so exciting
also,
when you find somebody who's just like so excited. Like it makes it easier, doesn't it? And it kind of
oh,
reignites your excitement and you kind of that initial feeling that you felt when you first found this opportunity is kind of re-sparked and you remember why you started and then you get excited all over again. And I just love that. I love seeing that.
yeah, Dana and I were talking about that the other day. It's like the small wins. You'll go like a week and like nobody, it feels like, shows up. The people that do show up are like, I don't have the money, or my husband's not supportive, or whatever. And then you have that one recruit that's like, I'm so excited. I want to tell the world, like, let's get on top of the bridge and just shout about it. And it's like,
right.
like that's the video that Dan sent out the other day, the 7 months to RVP, I think it was, by Ian. It really, like, Dan and I were talking, it clicked about, oh, I just need to recruit more people. All right, cool.
And
So,
RVP is Regional Vice President.
oh, yep, regional vice president. We talked about that.
Hey, Jason,
Regional vice
Jason made it
president.
back on.
Hey, Jason. But
Hello,
yeah,
sorry, internet went out there for a second. Sorry
Hey,
about that.
no worries. No
Yeah,
worries.
it-
We're just
it keeps
we're
happening.
talking about the kind of people that we like to recruit. Who are you recruiting right now? What kind of people are you looking for?
Well, right now, Dan and I were actually talking about this other day. Right now is the perfect time with the holidays coming up, Halloween, Thanksgiving, everything, to get out into the community, go to events, stuff like that, and just really connect with people. In our part-timers meetings, we go over the laws of leadership. One of those laws is the law of connection. And right now is just the perfect time to implement that and get out into the community, connect with basically everybody you can, take down names, numbers, and basically just go after everybody.
Well, yeah, and the holidays coming up, you made a great point. Like we've got Thanksgiving, Christmas, like you're gonna see all the people that you don't see throughout the year. You're gonna come together and you're gonna get together and you're gonna get in front of these people. That's the perfect, and a lot of people are like, oh, we're gonna take holidays off. No, you need to take the holidays on. Like that's when you load up your appointments. They'll be like, you really want to meet with somebody over Christmas? Heck yeah, I want to meet with them over Christmas. I'm not gonna see them for another year. Like that's a great time to get together with people. They've already got the time off. So you're going to catch them at home. That's a great time. Great time. Plus people need money right now, right? The Christmas
Yeah,
is coming.
exactly.
Great time to hire people.
Exactly. Right. I
Definitely.
was thinking today, like, because, and you're gonna talk about this, Mel, like all those states, counties, everywhere that was affected by the hurricane
Yeah.
and the opportunity. There's so many people that are gonna have a great opportunity to start for very little, and you'll hear that, but like they waived the licensing fee for so many counties that we can have a bigger impact and a bigger opportunity for those people because they also are displaced, a lot of them. So working remotely is going to be great for them as well, that they can meet, they can work wherever if they have to live somewhere else for a while, right? So that opportunity is there because Primerica helps people. They're helping those people, right? So I'm excited to try to connect with some people in those areas, to help them out.
Yeah, be a little ray of hope to them, definitely.
Right.
So we have a super, super special opportunity in this particular company in Primerica, where when we talked about this a little bit at the beginning, where you get to choose who you work with. So a lot of places, most places, I would argue, you don't get to pick who you work with. You're kind of stuck in that environment and you can take the job or leave the job, But here through recruiting, you get to choose who you work with, the people that you help. And if you just don't get along with, I mean, one of the questions in the recruiting presentation is like, hey, I'm going to see if this is a good fit for us. And that's not just a good fit for you, that's a good fit for me. Like if I don't feel like it's going to be good, like I'm not turning you away from an opportunity, just not the opportunity necessarily with me. So I don't know. I just really like that uniqueness about our company, that you're able to pick who you work with. But how does that kind of affect your guys' perspective when you, like, how are you keeping that in mind as you recruit people?
Good question.
I definitely, we talked about this on the part-timers call this morning. If they're in a weird environment or, not got their shirt on or like sometimes you can like smell people and you can't smell people. Stuff like that. Like it definitely, if I got on with somebody that was like 9 a.m. drinking a beer, having a cigarette hanging out of their mouth, I don't know that I'm gonna necessarily want to work with you on a daily basis because my clients aren't gonna necessarily take you seriously when you're asking for their social security number. Like they're gonna be like, Toothless Tim over here? No, we're not doing that.
It's just coffee, I swear, guys.
Right. Yeah, right. Jerome 9 a.m. Like,
Yeah.
I got
Well,
some of
not,
my stuff
yeah,
from
not
Dan.
Toothless Tim. Not
Well,
Toothless.
and when we used to run appointments in person and things like that, I mean, I would have people. So I was in the office working in an administrative position. I was there Monday through Friday, all day into the evening and everything like that. And so when I would prospect, yes, I'm sure it's coffee. I swear it is. And I would invite people in to do recruiting appointments at the office, and I could not believe the number of people who just didn't show up. Just didn't show up. I would get so angry. I'm like, you know what, Jerome? I think you're gonna have to take over the presentation. I'm just gonna give you the numbers because I'm not emotionally mature enough for this. Like, I get so mad. But no, I think it's such a cool opportunity that we get to pick the people, you know?
Mhm.
Were you gonna say something, Jason?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Well, like I said before, like those people that are ready to start before they even get on the Zoom call, like that they see a video that we send out. I'm not sure everybody has that presentation first. Like ours is a video that we send just to let them get a good introduction, right? But like if they're already excited, I'm like, okay, I want to work with you because you're very excited already. You're already bubbly and you're like pumped about it, right? Or if somebody thinks about it, but then they come back to you and you don't have to follow up with them. They follow up with you and say, hey, I'm ready to go. Right. I'm like, okay, that means you're serious. Right. So, and also like, I want to give people a chance. I'm a yellow. Yellow means I am a helper. Right. So if you don't know, that's a personality, but I like to help people. So even those who aren't that excited, I try to help. Right. But the long and short of it is like, they want to be helped, right? They want to have the help, so but yeah. What did you say? AK people pleaser, right?
Hey, guess what? I was yellow my whole life. It's okay. We work to overcome. We work to overcome. Yeah, I remember I think Mario was talking about it a long time ago, and it was actually it was before he was even in our organization, or we were in his organization rather. But he came to one of our schools and he said, I am not looking to motivate people. I'm looking for motivated people. And that was like a game changer for us. Like, okay, I can rip my hair out trying to motivate you to do something, but if you are not motivated yourself to do what you have to do to get the job done, like there's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say. But that was kind of freeing, like it's not my responsibility to do that work for you. I'm just looking for you. I'm just looking, and when I find you, I'll find you. But oh, thank you guys so much. This was great. I appreciate the conversations. Recruiting is where it's at, guys. Now, that is, again, not required to be successful in our business, but that is going to get you where you need to go so much faster than if you did it alone, right? That power of numbers there. We are going to get into some announcements this evening. My name is Melody Cooper. I am here with y'all tonight on this Friday Night Live. You might see some new faces around here. I want you guys to welcome the Brayleys and the Bordens. Those teams are joining us now for Friday Night Live, and we are so excited to have them in the family. Well, they're already family, but welcome back to the family, guys. It's so good to have y'all here. Couple reminders. Be on time. Make sure you're on time. You don't want to miss anything. Guys, this is an hour and a half on a Friday night. I know you could be doing a lot of other things, but you're here. There is some great stuff you're going to learn tonight, some great things you're going to take away. So you want to make sure you're on time so you don't miss a thing. Make sure your cameras are on. If you are at a place where you can have your camera on, aka not in the shower, keep your camera on. We want to see your face. We want to know that you hear what we're saying. We love that feedback. We want to see you guys. Take notes. My husband always says the dullest pencil remembers more than the sharpest brain. So make sure you're taking notes. You won't remember everything, I promise. And just learn something. Just learn something, okay? If you have not told all of your people yet, send them all a text right now. Tell them, get on the call because we have a special guest speaker tonight. My good friend, Jeremy, he's a $100,000 plus earner. He's going to be on speaking to you all tonight. So make sure your people get on. You don't want to miss that for sure. If you guys haven't heard, there was a hurricane that hit our country, and Primerica is doing an amazing thing, and they are waiving the licensing fees for a lot of those counties that were impacted by Hurricane Helene. So that $99 licensing fee is totally waived from October 1st to October 18th. There is a massive, like 28-page list of all the zip codes that are included. It is right on that first page, right when you log into Primerica Online. So take a look at that. Use that to your benefit. Guys, people are looking for hope right now. So use that to your advantage right now to grow your team. Guys, if you didn't know, we have Builder School coming up. Builder School in Tampa. Yes, Tampa, Clearwater, something like that in Florida. Next weekend, that's East Coast Builder School. And then up here in Michigan, in the Midwest, the weekend following. So if you guys don't have your tickets yet, take out your phone, scan this little QR code for either the East Coast or the Midwest Builder School and get your tickets today. They are $35. If you're unaware what the Builder School is, that is 6 months worth of training packed into a day and a half. It's amazing. We're going to have $1 million speakers there. You won't want to miss it, guys. Got to be there. You may also not know, or you may know, that you are currently fighting for a trip to Universal Studios. This is all expenses paid by our amazing company, Primerica. This will be in February next year, 2025. I don't know about you, but so I live in Michigan in the Midwest, and in February, it's pretty cold. There's a little bit of snow on the ground, if not a lot of snow on the ground. I would love to be in Florida during that time, and I would love even more to be there for free. So keep fighting for that. You guys have until the end of November to qualify. So you are not out of the race yet. Keep it going. We have one last announcement, and that is a Dinner with the Winners competition. So those of you who attend Builder School, the Midwest Builder School, so this is the one in Michigan, there is a competition for a Dinner with the Winners, and you qualify by doing one recruit, 600 in AP, that is $600 in annual premium for a life insurance application, get one license, or $10,000 in a securities or investment trade. If you do 3 of these, you earn an extra ticket to bring a teammate. You guys do not want to miss this. Dinner with the Winners was one of my favorite events that we used to do back in the day, and they kind of dropped it out for a little while, but we are reviving it. We're bringing it back from the dead. We are bringing it to you guys because we don't want you to miss out on these incredible little intimate dinners that we can get together with some successful people in our business, and we just want to pour into you guys. So you guys fight for that. I believe that is all the announcements I have for you this evening. So without further ado, I am going to bring up one of my good friends, my first regional vice president that Jerome and I promoted all the way from Florida, coming to you tonight. Please welcome Cassandra Rigney.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mel. That was amazing. Oh my gosh, that pregame, that was amazing as well. I'm going to bring up a few of our teammates, and we're going to also have another panel. We're going to talk about premium tonight. So if we can get them spotlighted, let me see, our spotlighted, whatever that is. And we'll get some questions going about premium. Who else am I missing? Leah, I can start with you while we're kind of getting everybody on here. So Leah, where do you get most of your premium? Do you get it more from, recruiting, from prospecting, maybe workshops, right? Where does most of your premium, your life insurance business come from?
I've had a little bit of diversity everywhere. I'd say, prior 6 months ago, it was a little bit of just friends, family, warm people, right? I did do a financial wellness workshop for a company of soldiers on base, so that brought more one-on-one F&As, which brought life insurance. And then lately, it's been kind of a lot about like trying to focus right on building a business, because I'm like, okay, now I have the mindset of regional vice president. And so therefore we need to build a company. We need to build an agency, which is recruiting. And our pregame panel was amazing, talking about the importance of recruiting. So guys, that's just part of owning your own business, right? And I'm not a business owner yet. I'm not a regional vice president. I'm not a $300,000 earner, but a lot of the premium right now is coming through helping teammates really grow and build and learn how to be successful themselves.
Nice. Yet, right? Not a $300,000 earner yet. That's awesome. And just because you said that, I just want to touch on something real quick. Have you always been kind of the type of person that's wanted to recruit and grow your team like that? Or have you been has it changed over time as you've kind of gone, through the last year?
No, I was not always like that. I was more like, I got to figure this out. I know this is going to hit some people. I got to figure this out first before I can really do that. And I didn't have the full picture. Yes, I could be like everybody else, like RVP, regional vice president. That's me. But my actions or my thought process was still, I got to figure this out first. So it's got to be me, my own production. That's my focus. I've got to talk to these people. It's got to be me. But then you start to see the bigger picture and you're like, whoa, I have to do recruiting. And then you start to get a couple tastes of those overrides and you're like, wow, this is way bigger than I ever could have imagined. And so no, to answer, I was not always a recruiter. And I still sometimes have to be like, hey, big picture. You guys, that's why you got to make the vision boards. If you want to be a regional vice president, you want to have actual freedom, you got to recruit. So
yeah. So good. So good. Thank you so much, Leah. We'll go to Sierra next. So Sierra, I'm going to ask you the same question. Where do you get most of your premium? Is it mostly through recruiting, cold market, warm market, workshops? What have you been doing?
Yeah, so for us, it's been a little bit of recruiting and a little bit of referrals. So recruiting will, work with our recruits and help them get covered with life insurance. I think that's very important because it's like, you're doing it. You should also, if you believe in the company, you should believe in the products and understand the value of what life insurance is and how it works and everything. So just reinforcing that with them. And then also our referrals. So working with those recruits, hot and warm market, getting referrals from them. And then obviously our current clients that we have, getting referrals from them, their friends and family as well. So that's a little bit where ours comes from.
Okay, awesome. I love that you brought up referrals because that actually leads me right into my next question. So great job, Sierra. Thank you so much. So Dana, I'm going to switch over to you and we're going to jump into referrals. So what role does client referrals play in generating premium for you? And how do you consistently encourage and follow up on your referrals?
I am still getting more comfortable with referrals, I'll be honest. So I'm still following up. That's my big thing. There's always a huge, that's a huge thing for us is to do the follow-up. You can always get so much out of that. So it's just doing the follow-ups. And then, our new things that we talked about in our part-time, full-time meeting is to do the play with your clients that you have. So that's how I've gotten a few referrals from that, is doing the play with them, saying if they had a great experience, then they can put it on social media for me. And then that's when some of the referrals come from that. It might be referrals for premium, might be referrals for recruits. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I've had a referral for a recruit recently from a client appointment. So it is, you just gotta see how great of experience they had. If they had a great experience, then why not have them, do referrals, maybe not like a list, but why not do a social media referral platform as well?
Yeah, that's so good. Howard Lashner, if someone knows who that is, all of you should probably know who that is unless you're a little new, but Howard Lashner in the company, he would always say, your client is your commercial, right? And that is so true. We need to, and I think sometimes even myself kind of forget about, doing that, right? We just get kind of so caught up. But if we can remember to have our clients, especially when they're, really happy about what we've done and we've built a really great relationship, I mean, of course they want to post something on social media for us, right? So just making sure that we do that. That's so good. Leah, I'm going to jump to another question. When recommending premium amounts, how do you strike the balance between affordability and ensuring adequate coverage for the client needs? What's your process on that?
I think that's mastering your financial needs analysis. That's if you are doing a good job in even prefacing, you do your presentation, you're educating them. They still may have that broke mindset type of mentality because they're really hurting. And so we've got to first help them before we can really convince them any importance, a difference in more or less. Like it's because again, like Dan has repeated numerous times too, that I'm like, it's stuck in my head. Price is only an issue in the absence of value. But again, when you are stuck in a survival mode mindset because life is hard in your finances, then that's where the FNA, the financial needs analysis, doing the breakdown with them, seeing can you save them money in their home and auto insurance, right? Seeing if you can, maybe they're overfunding their 401k, have those discussions. Maybe they're paying too much for a different type of policy. Just there's so much that kind of goes into that. So for me, I would say it would be breaking it down and seeing first, how can you help them? Even if it's spend an extra hour or two with them, showing them how to actually do a budget. I've done that, been there, done that. I know it's a little extra. There is a budget worksheet in the financial needs analysis, but sometimes they don't even know how to get those figures. So teach them how to really break it down so they can see a more clearer picture of like, how can they save to then let's have a discussion about the importance and priorities, because you've already educated them on the life insurance. And then you're showing them how to properly plan, because that's essentially what we're doing. We're teaching them how to properly, how to put these financial concepts that they didn't know before into a plan. So I say that would be the number one thing.
That's so good. And talk about getting referrals if you do all of that for them, right? I mean, sometimes you guys, you might get burnt going above and beyond for people, right? But still do it, because that's gonna, you could get a client for life who refers people to you all the time because they know that you went above and beyond to really help them understand these things and put them into play. I love that you said that about kind of showing them, helping them find money, right? And that's a really easy thing to do through the FNA. I know, Leah, we were talking to a couple of teammates of ours, and you guys, they were kind of like, they didn't really want to do life insurance at the moment because just finances were a little tight, right? But we were doing the FNA and they were overfunding their 401k, right? So we're like, well, we could take a little bit of that for right now, and then we can build back up on that 401k and the retirement stuff, right? We need to make sure you're properly protected. So that was really good. Great job, Leah. All right, Sierra, we're going to move to another question as well. Let's see here. What strategies do you use to maintain relationships with current clients? And what role do you feel that plays in increasing your life insurance business overall?
That's a great question. Because this is more of my role in the business between me and my husband, because I'm a little more friendlier. No shade, just kidding. But yeah, I reach out to people. I feel like I can, talk to people. I have sympathy. I like to just check in on my clients, just see, hey, how you doing? What's going on in life. I think that's really important, just to talk to them outside of business, or trying to, do business with them, just knowing that you actually care, right? And even if it's just like, hey, how's the family? Or, hey, just thinking of you. Hope you guys are doing well. We also learned this from our great mentor, Jerome Cooper. I send out handwritten messages or handwritten notes. So anytime I do clients policies, that day I will write out a handwritten note just saying thank you for your business. Appreciate you, looking forward to doing business with you in the future. Let me know if you need anything. And then I send that out. It's a really simple way. Doesn't take very long. But they really notice that, like you said, go above and beyond. This is your business. This is your your brand, right? Think of the brands that you love. What are they doing? How are they treating their clients? How are they treating their customers, right? You need to, figure out, what is my brand? How am I going to set up my business? And be that, right? Explain to them, like, this is what I stand for. And yeah, basically you are your brand. So you're definitely going to want to treat people how you expect to be treated, and what type of business that you would want, right? So I really love that part of the business, just creating those relationships with people, and letting them know that I care and that I'm here if they need anything. And what was the second part of the question? I can't remember.
Just how do you approach that? You answered it very, very well.
Okay, awesome.
But
awesome.
that's amazing that you guys, also do that. I remember, Jerome teaching me that too. I do that as well, right? It goes such a long way. It's such a little thing, but people remember that, right? Because who does that? Other places don't write handwritten letters, right? So that's so good. Well, we are out of time, ladies. Sorry, Dana, we didn't get to you another time.
Okay.
We'll get you
Okay.
on the next Friday. But ladies, thank you so much. That was awesome. Give it up for these ladies in the chat, you guys. It is going to be my pleasure to bring up our next speaker. He is a near-term $100,000 earner, RVP, a regional vice president from Michigan, Jeff Miller. Take it away, Jeff.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great job, everyone, to all the speakers tonight so far. Been taking notes, ton of great nuggets from everybody. It's always a pleasure of mine to speak to you guys. It's an honor. I look forward to it every Friday to be part of this great training program, and hope I can continue the thread of getting you guys some good nuggets tonight. So my topic tonight, as I pull up my screen, is I think one of the most important things that we have to manage or get down in our business, a skill that we have to learn, and that is time management, right? Whether you think so or not, ladies and gentlemen, we are business owners, okay? We are business owners, and this is not a job, as you guys have probably figured out. And, we're not punching a clock, and we're not, showing up, getting paid hourly or getting a salary to do this, right? We're a voluntary army that have all made the decision to be in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves, right? That's why we have this great team of people pouring into everybody. So, I get it. I came from corporate America too, working over 10 years in corporate America. It's a change, it's a transition, but it's something you constantly have to be working on, okay? So one of the most important time management skills you have to learn is discipline, right? Discipline is doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. It sounds so easy, but trust me, okay, it's not. It's not. And let's face it, I'm just being real with you guys tonight. Some of it, as excited as I am about Primerica and the opportunity and where I'm going and how it's going to set my family free and the time freedom and money freedom and everything, there's days I don't feel like working. Okay. Anybody ever wake out of bed, or you had a bad day and it's like, oh my God, now I got to do Primerica, right? Or I got to work on my business today, right? That's when discipline counts the most. You got to hold yourself accountable to that. And here's a good trick, guys. Here's a good trick. If you haven't figured this out, Rhett, you got to figure out what's your why. What brought you to Primerica? What did the Primerica opportunity? What did you see in the Primerica opportunity that's going to help you change your life? Okay. And then when times get tough and you feel like you're going a little astray with discipline, you pull out that dream board that people were talking about before. You pull out the why, right? You start, oh, that's why I joined the business. Right. And that will rejuvenate you. That will get you more energy to start focusing on your business. Okay. Next up is structure, right? We got to set aside a time to work on our business and establish those, what we call solid yellow lines. Okay. We kind of heard that in training a few weeks ago. If you're driving down a road and there's a solid yellow line, you don't cross it. Okay. So, you have to carve out time for Primerica and have the structure in place to respect that time. When you set aside time for Primerica, that is your time for Primerica. It's not time to do anything else. Okay. We say God first, family second, business third. But when you're working on your business, you better set some boundaries up and let your friends and family know that. Hey guys, I am not going to be available Friday night from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I have training. I'm trying to better myself. Hey guys, whatever trainings you have with your uplines, whatever, events that we have, that's the time you work on your Primerica business, and you let people know that. And I'll tell you what, when you're a business owner, everybody wants your time for some reason. Oh, could you take me to the airport? Can you run to the store? Can you do this? Can you do that? It's amazing. No, would you ask somebody to do that if they were punched on a clock at a job? Of course not, right? They wouldn't be able to do it anyway. So respect yourself, respect your time. Your time, nobody will respect your time unless you respect your time. Okay, but just set the boundaries up front, and then there's not going to be any issues, I promise you. Number 3 is you got to work on productivity. You got to work on IPAs, not the alcohol drink IPA, but the income producing activities or income making activities. Meaning if I'm going to set aside a couple hours tonight to do on my Primerica business, I better be focusing on setting appointments or being on appointments. That's the 2 main things of work here, guys. Okay. So setting appointments and being on appointments. So I want to make sure my calendar there. I know you have to set aside for new people. You're obviously trying to get your licenses too. But if I'm working on my Primerica business, I'm not messing on Primerica Online POL. Okay. I'm not messing with anything else except for what I have set aside during that time frame. And whatever I'm trying to do is going to get me one step closer to hitting my goals and making money or helping people. Okay. Number 4 is you got to be efficient, right? We got to make the most of our time, right? So, that's a skill in itself. Okay. What if you set aside, an hour tonight or later or whatever, and you think you can set maybe 10 appointments or 5 appointments in that time period, or maybe run an appointment in that time period? How do we get better? How do we get more efficient? Because remember, time is finite, right? We have 24 hours in a day. And let's face it, when you come to Primerica and you work in this business part-time, a lot of us start off only, working 5 to 15, maybe 20 hours a week. So however that looks like during the week. So it's not like we have a ton of time, initially to do all this. So you want to make sure that when you are focused on your business, you're efficient. You have, efficiency by definition is getting more outputs with less inputs. Okay. Is doing more with less. So master your skills, get better with presentations, get better with setting appointments. And you'll find is you'll be able to run more appointments during that time. And what you'll find is you'll be able to set more appointments in that time period. That's what getting efficient means. Okay, you'll get there. You might not be that great in the beginning, right? You don't have to be great to get started. You just have to start to get great. Okay. Number 5 is you got to be extremely focused. Eliminate distractions, eliminate temptations. Okay. I'm a dad. I have kids. They try to interrupt sometimes. I have, working from home sometimes can be challenging. So you just got to find yourself in an office. You got to put yourself somewhere where it's going to be quiet. You can shut the door. Okay. You can really just be focused in that time period, in that moment. And just, again, it's all about communication and transparency. Like I'm in my home office right now. There's literally like a keep out sign outside my door. Do not disturb. Okay. My kids know they mess with me when my door is closed. There's going to be some payment. Okay. And they're not going to like it. Because that's what it takes. Okay. Number 6 is going to be organization. Just be prepared, have a plan, write out in advance what you want to accomplish during that time period. Set some goals. I want to, maybe make 50 phone calls. I want to set 5 appointments. I want to, whatever that looks like. Everything starts with organization, right? If you're organized and you have a plan of attack and you stay true to that plan, you're going to be successful with that. Number 7 is accountability. Look, we got to hold ourselves accountability. Okay. That's the one thing about being a business owner. Now you're going to have uplines and you're going to have hopefully I think a good thing is to establish an accountability partner, whether it's someone on the same team with you, maybe someone at your level, right? Challenge each other to appointment setting contests, who can run the most appointments, who can get the most names and numbers or whatever. Obviously be accountable to your upline. Right. I always checked in with Ian, this is what I did this hour, or I ran this appointment. This is how it went. right? They can give you feedback on all this stuff and help you. And then do a risk reward, right? I don't know what motivates you. You know, some people get motivated by doing fun things. Some people get motivated by the fear of loss or not doing fun things or whatever that is. So set yourself accountable. Like if I don't do this, then I gotta maybe make up for it somehow or do double the next time. And then finally, just be commitment. You have this commitment, be consistency, keep your eye on the prize, you know, don't procrastinate, right? Just, you know, I like that Nike commercial, just do it. But I also saw a meme that had the Nike logo that said, yesterday you said tomorrow. Okay. Let that sink in. Yesterday you said tomorrow, right? If we kept saying, I'll get it to it tomorrow, I'll get to it tomorrow. Unfortunately, tomorrow is not promised and may never come. So I hope you guys got a lot of nuggets with that. And now it's we're getting ready to get into some recognition here. And I'll turn it over to RVP, near-term $100,000 earner, probably the best basketball player in here, Jerome Cooper.
I am the best basketball player here. Thank you very much. That was good. Hey, listen, guys, we're going to dive into some recognition. I want you guys in the chat cheering on your teammates, man. They did what it took to get recognized tonight. So we're gonna make it happen. So there our slide. We're gonna get it going here. I want to see you in the chat. I want to see you in the chat. I'm gonna call you out like, hey, where the heck you at in the chat? You're not celebrating your teammates. But let's get right into it. Friday Night Live recognition. Got our new teammates added. Let's go personal recruits. So for the month of September. So this is closing out September's numbers. We got a top 5 for you guys. We're not going to go through the 19 million way tie at 5th place. So take a screenshot of this or take a picture and give your teammates a shout out. Let's go top 4 though. So 4th place, Karen Stump, Dana and Malcolm Martin with 3. 3rd place, Shelby Vandermate at 5 direct recruits. 2nd place, Jarrell and Jackie Borden at 6 recruits. But there's only one, number 1 in personal recruiting for the month of September, and that is Dan and Taylor Romai at 7. Give Dan and Taylor a shout out in the chat. Let's go personal premium out there helping families. Got a top 5 for you guys. 5th place, Dan and Taylor Romai. 4th place, myself and Mel Cooper. 3rd place, Dana and Malcolm Martin. 2nd place, Jackie Casella. But there's only one, number 1 in helping families personally in the month of September. That is Jarrell and Jackie Borden. Great job, Jarrell and Jackie. Way to go out there servicing clients. So personal securities. Buy term and invest the difference. We got a top 5 for you guys. 5th place, Gina Hoban. 4th place, myself and Mel. 3rd place, Cassandra Rigney. 2nd place, Jeff and Michelle Miller. But there's only one, number 1 in getting families investing the difference. And that is Dan and Taylor Romai at $210,000 in the month of September. Great job, Dan and Taylor leading the way. Let's go team recruiting below regional vice president. Got to build the business. Top 5 for you guys. 5th place, Kanika Glover. Christine and Wayne. Danny Glover. I see what I did there. Danny Glover. And Sadie Hanks with 3. 4th place, Shelby Vandermate with 5. 3rd place, Arden and Natasha Hoxie with 8. 2nd place, Dana and Malcolm Martin at 11. But there's only one, number 1 in the month of September, below regional vice president, team recruiting, Karen Stump at 13. Great job, Karen. You got the opportunity to hear from her tonight. Great job, Karen. Way to go. Let's go team recruits, regional vice president above. 3rd place, Team Grind. I think we got, yep, that's wrong, but it's okay. Team Grind at 1. 2nd place, we got the Hustlers at 20. There's only one. Number 1, that's the Redemption Bay Shop at 24. Way to go, Team Redemption. Great job, guys. Let's go below regional vice president and team premium life insurance sales. 5th place, Mike and Lisa Fry. Great job, Mike and Lisa. 4th place, Kia and Margaret Fry. Great job. 3rd place, Karen Stump, Dana and Malcolm Martin, Arya and Natasha Hoxie. 2nd place, Leah Morehart and Jackie Casella. But there's only one. Number 1, below Regional Vice President and Team Premium, Sadie Hanks, $5,771 in Team Premium. Great job, Sadie. Way to go. Loading up for that Regional Vice President contract. Let's go Regional Vice President Premium. Got a top 3 for you guys. Team Grind in 3rd place. 2nd place, Team Phoenix. But there's only one. Number 1, that's the Hustlers. The Hustlers was $16,961 in Team Premium. Great job, the Hustlers. Way to go, guys. Let's go. We got our Builder School registration. So we got a big event coming up. I don't know if you heard about it or not, but it's right around the corner. We got the East Coast Builder School down there in the Tampa Bay area, Tampa Bay, Florida area. Excited about that. That is next weekend. And then the following weekend, we have the Midwest Builder School here in Michigan. We're going to recognize our base shops and where we are on registration so far. So we got Team Win, Team Phoenix, and the Hustlers at 5 registrations so far. Team Grind at 8 registrations so far. And there's only one, number 1 so far. And team registrations is Redemption Base Shop at 17. Great job, Team Redemption. Listen, go and get registered. Take a picture of the QR code and let's get you registered. You don't want to miss the big event. Hey, listen, big decisions are made at big events, and we want to put you in a position to do so. Let's look at promotions and licenses. Hey, look, we got to get you licensed, right? So you can be able to make some money out there servicing people. Then we got to get you promotions so you can make some more money doing the same job you will be doing anyway. So let's see what we got this past week. New senior rep, Jason Harlow. Great job, Jason. Got the opportunity to hear from him this evening. Way to go, Jason. New district leader, Kanika Glover. Great job, Kanika. Way to go on getting that district leader contract. Sadie Hanks. Great job, Sadie. New district leader. 50%, right? Giving yourself a pay raise in the month of September. Way to go. And now we got the Stud Trophy to close us out here. See, look, the Stud Trophy winner is the top producer out of all of the base shops that we have on the Friday Night Live. Listen, we got more base shops now, right? There are more regional vice president teams on here now, right? So well over 300 licensed agents involved in this. But we want to take a look at who was the top personal producer for the previous week. So we take a look at personal recruits, we take a look at personal premiums, and then that allows us to come up with our stud for the week. So let's look at last week's winner, Dan and Taylor Romine. Give those guys a hand. Way to go, Dan and Taylor. We got top 3 for you. 3rd place, Sadie Hanks. Great job, Sadie. 3rd place. 2nd place, Jackie and Jarrell Borden. Great job. Close. But there's only one. Number one personal producer for the previous week. All the base shops. Friday Night Live. Dan and Taylor Romine. The trophy winners for this week. Great job, Dan and Taylor. Let's see if you guys can do a three-peat. Like the Kansas City Chiefs. That's good stuff, right? Hey, I'm excited tonight. We got a guest speaker on tonight. Listen, this guy has become a great friend of mine. He's get ready to be a great husband, has a great business, great family. He's doing some great things, and he has one of the best Primerica stories that I've heard personally. And I think it's what everybody here is fighting for, if I were to be honest with you. For the people that you love the most, your family, your close friends, kids, whatever, for them to be able to inherit something. See, the Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And you got that opportunity here. Last time I checked, Dan, you can't leave your job to your kids, right? I don't care how hard you work there. I don't care how high up you were on the pay scale, what title you had, right? When you step out those doors and you call it quits, at the end of the day, that job is gone, they're going to look for somebody to fill the position. But here, man, Primerica says, hey, if you got it structured right, if you got it set up correctly, your family can pick it up. And this gentleman tonight is going to talk a little bit about that. Leader of Team Lion Chasers, my brother, Jeremy, man, it's on you, bro. Take it away.
Jerome, thank you, brother. Appreciate you so much. And I love you and Mel, honor you, appreciate you. And I count it just a joy to have you guys in my life. You know, with Lion Chasers, really one of our biggest mottos is that we are better together. And Jerome, I just really speak that to you and Mel, man. We are better together, and I'm thankful for you guys. There's so many on this call that have invested in me, and I'll go through those in a minute. But just to you guys, first of all, thank you so much. And Team Grind and all the other teams on here, listen, I'm excited to be with you tonight. I believe that this is a divine appointment. I believe that this night has been circled on God's calendar for us to spend some time together. This is not about me. It ultimately is not about my story. It is about the goodness of God in my life and how God has taken what the enemy has meant for evil and turned around for my good and for God's glory. And so I'm excited to share this with you guys. I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So a little bit about me. My name is Jeremy Cloninger. I think we covered that. Just turned 49. I live down here right outside of Louisville, Kentucky, in a town called Shelbyville. Quarter horse capital of the world. Saddlebred, one of them horses. Anyway, it's a big deal. Listen, I don't ride a horse, and I don't know which one it is. They just got 4 legs and hoofs. That's about as good as I can make it. And so I've got 2 boys, Matthew and Jonah. They're 26 and 24. You'll see pictures of them in a minute. Grew up as a preacher's kid. My dad was a pastor for 30 years. And he was a wonderful man, funny, playful. My dad grew up as a never knowing who his real dad was. He was 47 years old when my grandma said, you know, Steve, I've actually been lying to you for 47 years. Your dad's real name is, and told him the name and said it was this. You know, she lived in Louisville. This Italian soldier came in from Fort Knox to Louisville. They were, promiscuous a couple times. She got pregnant. He never knew. He went back, and she never heard from him again. And so when she told Dad this guy's real name, Dad started to do research, only to find out, folks, in the 1960s, the part of Fort Knox that held all the records burned all the way to the ground. There is no way that Dad could ever find this man, his family. We know that the last name Marando, Marando, is anything with the Dio, like Marlon Brando. Anything Dio is in northern Italy. That's about as far as I got, about as much as I know. And so Dad was such a great. He grew up. My grandmother, my grandfather were alcoholics. They, came to the Lord later. But he grew up really in a horrible home, devastating home. He was never knew what his nationality was until 3 months before he died. He finally found out through 23andMe that he's majority Italian. For whatever reason, he was really excited to hear he had 23 of the 29 variants of Neanderthal. Neanderthal is caveman. I don't know why he was excited about that, but he was super excited about that. It was kind of weird, but whatever. I was like, okay, Dad, that's fantastic. We did find out eventually he was Italian, but he grew up darker skin than other kids, and Coke bottle glasses. Was told he was going to be legally blind by the age of 21, so he taught himself to play the piano. He taught himself how to use a typewriter so that if he did ever go blind, he could still communicate and still enjoy music. He was very much a self-made man. Anything my dad touched turned to gold. In ministry, he, even in the little town of Shelbyville, we would host events and have laser light shows and hot air balloon rides and pony rides in the back of our church. And, we'd have 1,000 people in the back of the church for fireworks shows. Like anything Dad did, he did it big. And it was just phenomenal. And so when he got out of the ministry, let me back up. So when I was 3 years old, I don't remember this, but I was told that I went into my dad's closet and I put on one of his jackets, suit, sport coats, slipped my feet in his shoes. Of course, I couldn't lift my feet in his shoes, but I slipped my foot in his shoes and kind of scooted my feet across the floor. And I went up to him and said, "Look, Daddy, I look just like you." And all everyone would do, folks, all everyone to do was minister side by side with my dad. That was the goal of my life. That was the aspiration of my life. I was not guessing what am I going to do when I grow up. I knew what I was going to do. And so when I was 17, when I was 17, and he stepped down from the ministry, every dream that I had was shattered. I had no direction for my life. I had no idea what I was going to do with my life because my dad was no longer in ministry. And that's what we were going to do for the rest of my life, or definitely the rest of his life, was minister together. And so he got involved. So he left the church in May of 1992, got involved with Prime American in the fall of 92. And in my mid-20s, I felt like I heard the Lord say, "Hey, Jeremy, this may not be the way you thought it was going to be, but Prime America is still an opportunity for you to minister side by side with your dad." And so I did. About 24, 25, I was 2001. So I've been, 26. I was 26. And got my life insurance license in 2002. Got my Series 6 and 63 in 2008. And, I would do maybe 2 or 3 life insurance sales a year, maybe 3 or 4 investments a year. Dad was very much a type A personality. So even if I was in the office, in the front of the office, doing great, able to close the recruit, able to close the business, didn't matter. Dad would come up front, take over the appointment, and close the business or close the recruit. And so he was just that way. He just wanted to bless me and wanted to help me. And even if I didn't ask for it, I'm going to help you whether you want it or not, right? So I was thankful for that. And he took great care of himself. I mean, what you see here, other than the silly pictures. Oh, actually, the one with the Cool Whip on his nose, that's that pie in the face game. And that was 2015. So he was 70. Yeah, he would have been 70 then. And that was Christmas of 15. And he took great care of himself, exercised, took immaculate care of himself. And in November of 2015, so a month before that Cool Whip picture, he had a trans-ischemic attack, or a mini stroke. Obviously, you can tell it did not affect him at all. Really short period of time, but no real long-term residual effects of it. But going into 2016, he started to feel kind of more out of breath, as the year went on. And it got so bad he couldn't bend over and tie his shoes and stand up without just being completely out of breath. And so he went in August of 2016 and got a blood test, and they said, "Mr. Cloninger, listen, you have thalassemia, which is like a low red blood count." And they said, "But you probably are of some kind of Mediterranean descent, Latin Mediterranean descent, which is very common if you're from that area of the world. They're known to have lower red blood count. We can do some more tests if you like." No, that's fine, that's fine. And he didn't have that. But things just progressively got worse. I remember in October of 16, every fall we flew or drove somewhere. So that lower right-hand picture is in 2015. We flew to Lakewood, to Joel Osteen's church. And that was just, if you ever get a chance to go there, that was an experience. It was phenomenal. And then 2016, we drove up to Indianapolis. And he was he was there, but not really. As far as physically, he just couldn't walk a lot. He couldn't do a lot. And so, let's see. So we got some blood tests finally done in November. And then the Monday before Christmas of 2016, well, actually that Friday before that, my boys, Matthew, Jonah, and I had left. We were going to drive from Louisville to Denver, Colorado, for a week. I just wanted to do that with my boys. I love I love the Midwest, and so I wanted to do that with them. And so we did. Started that way. At least we got to St. Louis, and there was a flash freeze. I've never seen anything like it. Like when rush hour happened, like 3 inches of ice fell. It's crazy. Like no cars could move. So we never made it past St. Louis. We spent the weekend in St. Louis. We drove back Sunday night. And then Monday morning, my dad gets a call. Thankfully, I was at his house when the doctor called and said, Steve, you have acute myeloid leukemia, very, very aggressive form of leukemia. And we need to get you into the hospital within 2 days. We need to start intravenous chemo. And so we did. He went into the hospital. That was on a Monday, went on Wednesday. They started the chemotherapy on that Thursday before Christmas 2016. And he did the chemo for 168 hours to the minute, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to the minute, was on intravenous chemo. And so during that time, I decided in solidarity, as you can see, my dad's hair was immaculate. Okay. He loved his hair. I get it honestly, Jerome. I get it honestly. And he ended up having his stylist come in and shave his head, and I shaved my head. No, nobody's, by the way, you all are the first ones to ever see these pictures outside of my family. So I want to share these with you guys because you're family to me. Okay. I love you guys. Don't have to know you to love you. And this is part of my story. And so I wasn't going to show the video of when I told him about this, but it was a tearjerker. Okay. I don't want my mascara to run, so I didn't show the video. And so he was diagnosed with leukemia, shaved his head. Like I said, the Monday before Christmas, he found out January 13th or January 11th of 2017, got a call. Hospital said he went unresponsive. Got to the hospital. They had him on ventilated. They had him on a ventilator. They said, this is it. We pull that ventilator. He's going to be gone. He's not going to breathe on his own. And so y'all need to say your goodbyes. So we said our goodbyes, and they pulled the ventilator, and they don't know Steve Kleindiger. He kept breathing on his own, unresponsive, but still kept breathing. And so that next day, I wasn't sure if I was going to get promoted to RVP. That was the plan, but I wasn't sure what the company was going to do or allow me to do. And so I found out that day, that Thursday, that they would allow me to be promoted to RVP. And then that Friday, January 13th, he passed away. I preached his funeral. Tuesday, January 17th, people are like, how'd you do that? I'm like, I knew that material better than anything I've ever preached on in my life. Like, that was the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. One funny story about my dad, 2 years earlier, before he died, obviously not knowing when he was going to die, the funeral director was our client. And so he went there and asked Larry, the funeral director, if he could get his picture taken in a casket, because he wanted to know what he was going to look. He wanted to know what he was going to look like. Needless to say, Larry said, Steve, we only use these casket once. Okay. We don't have photo shoots. Okay. In the casket. So anyway, my dad was a little quirky. Okay. Super funny. Anyway, moving on. So dad passed away. I was raised by a sales guy. Okay. Dad could close business incredibly. He stepped down from the ministry because he got really hurt by the church. And so, you can keep a client at arm's distance, but a recruit, you spend a lot of time with them. And he just had a lot of trust issues, never really recruited a whole lot. And so I knew how to close business. What I didn't, and I even knew how to recruit, I just didn't know what to do with them once I got them. And God, in his kindness, over the last 7 years since my dad died, has sent me phenomenal people. Oh, here we are. Sorry, I didn't show you this. So here's Dad and I. We were very close growing up, or when I was growing up. And there I was laying with him when I was about 3 years old. And that's me laying in the bed with him. Again, nobody's ever seen these pictures. The night before he passed. Just being held one more time by my dad. And we're, like I said, very, very close. I'm going to move on so I don't cry. And then 2017, went to convention with my boys and some others, and got an ownership plaque. The company awarded me an ownership plaque, which was such an honor. That's my oldest son, Matthew, and my youngest son, Jonah. They look much different now, but that was them then. Here's what I'm saying. Over the last 7 years, God has sent me some of the greatest friends. that any man or woman, anyone could ever ask for. This is not by far all of them, but Nate Braley has been a constant friend, a constant mentor, a constant support in my life. Anytime he comes, and he knows better to come anywhere near me and not call me, because if I find out, I will call him, and he will test this. I will find him. I will track him. I'm going to go spend time with the man because I love him, and he brings such value to my life. Jerome, I don't know if you guys know him. He's a great guy too. No, actually, this was in Vegas. Funny story. I'd never been on the strip before, so I'm going as a single Christian man, not wanting to leave my hotel room because I didn't know what I was going to be met with on the strip. Jerome's like, "You're such a pansy. Get down here. Come to the strip." So spent that Saturday, I think it was, or Sunday actually, on the strip with Jerome and Nicole and so many others, the Trombleys, and just a great group of people. Had so much fun that weekend. Of course, Jeremy and Tanya McCall, they are family to me as well. Love them. And then this picture that you see here of me with the ring that I have on right now, this is my dad's ring. Okay. Dad died in 2017. In February of 2020, I'd become friends with Aristida Abrahams and called him and said, "Man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." And he said, "Well, let's spend some time together. Let's talk." And Aristida coached me in 2020 from $65,000 a year to over $100,000 in 10 months, increased my income by $35,000. And I bought myself my own ring. So I've got a white gold ring as well. I don't know how many people in the company have a yellow gold and a white gold, so I feel kind of special there. But I was like, because I heard this, and listen to me very closely. You have this voice too, by the way. This voice in your ear that's saying, you can't do it. You don't have what it takes. You're never going to get that watch. You're never going to get that ring. You don't know how to, you're not going to be like, all these lies are whispered to you. And I bought that ring as all but a set of middle fingers to the devil saying, "Hey, I did it." Right. And I'm going to shut you up. And so you need to learn how to shut those voices up in your head, telling you you're not enough, telling you you're not good enough, telling you you're going to fail here. Like you're not. Right? You only have two choices here. You either get paid or you get better. Right? Nothing bad can happen to you here. And the only way you can lose is quitting here. Right? All right. So these are folks that I love, I honor, and also I don't know why I don't have a picture with Jarrell and Jackie, but I love and honor them too. Look up to them, respect them, count on an honor and privilege. Dan and Taylor have just been such an important part of my life. They don't listen. Jerome and I talk. Jarrell and Jackie and I don't talk. Dan and Taylor and I really don't talk. But you guys, thank you. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your mentorship. Thank you for your voice in my life. Dan, I still hear you on the training that you did with Dream Team, with Scott's team. You said, "Hey, Primerica isn't hard, but it's hard enough." That phrase alone has helped me so much. So all of you, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your investment in my life. Michael and Lisa Chafin, great friends, great mentors. These group of gentlemen here, Michael and who's on the end there? I can't even tell. But anyway, Mario and Rob Recker, all these guys, just rock stars. Such I love, so glad that and thankful that they've spoken to my life. And of course, Ian has played a big role in my life as well. So many years that I would be like third generation Ian in my mind. Like, oh, I don't know Ian, but I know a guy who knows a guy who knows Ian, right? But I just, Ian's relentless system and all that has played a big role in my success here as well. And then, so 2017, this was after Dad died. This was the first convention that I took a team to. I couldn't find any pictures from 2019. I know I went. I just don't know where those pictures are. This was my team in 2022. And then this is the team that I took this past convention. And you can see this handsome gentleman right here, Steve Abrahams, with us. So thankful for him as well. Again, his role in my life. So folks, listen, I share all of this, and I know this is a lot about me, and I don't want it to be about me. But the whole point of all of this is this. You need to take advantage of every single day that you have in this business. Why do I say that? Because I said to my dad in 2016, I said, Dad, listen, I'm working at Sprint. Things are getting worse there. Dad, I promise you, January 1st, 2017, I'm going to come and spend time with you. I'm going to learn stuff from you. I'm going to spend 2017 learning this business inside and out. And then in January 1st, 2018, Dad, I'm going to go full-time in Primerica. That was my plan. It didn't work that way. 13 days after January 1st, 2017, my dad was gone. And I couldn't cut out that part of his brain that knew everything, right? And so you need to take advantage of your upline. You need to learn everything that you can learn from them. Listen, they're committed. They're invested in your success, right? And so you need to learn from them, glean from them, spend as much time with them as possible, because you don't know what tomorrow holds, right? I'm going to turn off my Roomba. Hold on for a second. It's going to annoy me. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. But you don't know what tomorrow holds. So take advantage of what all that you can learn here. So that was my dad. Well, then my uplines business was bought by Scott Pinkard, $114th million earner, right? So I got a great upline, and he loves the Lord, and he loves people, and he's brilliant. And you wouldn't think he's brilliant if you like met him at first. You know, he's from Tennessee. It's just a good old country boy, but he's brilliant. Well, don't you know, October last year, he was told he has less than 2 months to live. So here's another upline, another mentor of mine whose life was about to be snuffed out. And I didn't spend as much time with Scott as I wanted to. I didn't learn as much from him as I wanted to. Thank God, March of this year, he got a clean bill of health, completely cancer-free, or at least 98% cancer-free, went to the Invita Clinic in Arizona. God was good, God was faithful, and Scott's coming out on the other side of that completely healed and whole. But again, folks, time matters. Take the time to build a business so that your next generation is able to inherit what I've inherited. And that's a business. That's a legacy. Now, what my dad left me was tens of thousands of dollars a year. What I'll leave Matthew and Jonah are hundreds of thousands of dollars a year by the time I'm done with this thing. But it's all because what Jerome said. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. See, Proverbs also said that a good name, listen, a good name is more valuable than the greatest of riches. What Steve Coniger left me, yes, whether it was a business, but what my dad really left me was a good name that I get to build on. So integrity matters, folks. Character matters, not just in this business, obviously, in your life, but build a business that is transferable and leave something that is going to be a blessing for generations to come. I don't know if I have more pictures here. I do. Jerome mentioned this. So thankfully this year in March, I met Miranda. Some of you may follow us on Facebook. We're getting married October 26th. And I'm very thankful for the hand of God on that as well. And excited for what God has. She's an entrepreneur. She's in the health field. I'm in the wealth field. So we're seeing God kind of marry these two things together, being W-E-A-L-T-H and W-E-L-L-T-H, wealth and wealth. And so seeing what God has in store for us as a couple there. But again, folks, the whole moral of the story is leave a legacy. Live with integrity. Live with character. Don't waste your moment of your time because you don't know what tomorrow holds. Get with your upline. They're invested. They're invested in your success. They want you to be successful. See, even before Jesus said, he said, hey, I'm going to go away. But because I'm going away, you're going to do more than I've ever done. Your greater things are you going to do because I go to the Father. See, the heart of your upline is that you do more than they've ever done, go further than they've ever gone, be more successful than they've ever been. Right? So they're invested in your success. Take advantage of that. Don't let that opportunity pass you by. And trying to think if there's anything else I felt like I wanted to share. I don't think there is, Jerome. I think that's it, man. I'm a preacher's kid, so I can go for hours. So I'm sitting on my hands, refraining right now. But above all else, I just want to say what I say to you, my team. Listen, I love you guys. I'm so proud to, no, I'm not your coach, but I tell them I'm so proud to be your coach, so proud to be your friend, so proud to be your business partner. And that's how I feel about you guys as well. It's an honor to be with Team Grind and all the other teams represented here. Jerome, thank you for the call. Thank you for the opportunity. I love and appreciate you and Mel and this team so much. And listen, folks, we are better together. Specifically to Calvin Brent, go RVP, bro. Get that RVP thing done, man. Make it happen, okay? Love you guys.
Jeremy, man, thank you so much, brother. That was awesome, man. You over-delivered, man. Give Jeremy a shout out in the chat. I want to see the chat blowing up. But man, you over-delivered, man, like I knew you would. And man, we're happy to be a part of your life, man. Happy that you are getting ready to be married and able to have a spouse, man, a partner, man, that she'll be blessed by having you in her life, man. So that's so cool, bro. And if you ever need us, man, I'm pretty sure all of the regional vice presidents, we will also say the same thing, man. If you ever need us, just let us know. We got you, man. We're gonna definitely want to return the favor. So give Jeremy a shout out in the chat. This last speaker closing us out. Him and his bride, they're near-term $300,000 per year earners. They're rebuilding their business, man, and he is as focused as I've ever seen him. He literally said, "Hey, Jerome, nobody will outwork me," and he's on a three-peat for the stud trophy. So closing us out this evening, Dan Romine, it's on you, man.
All right, what's going on, guys? Hey, everybody type in the chat. Everybody type in the chat. Did you win your day? Did you win your day? Did you get the things done that you needed to get done to get things moving in your business or keep them moving? Right? And if you didn't, guess what? You're not asleep yet. So you didn't lose yet. You're just currently not winning. So you have some time, right? So you can go make it happen. But guys, listen, this business can change like that. Right? This business, your momentum will shift with a phone call. Right? It's so wild to me how many people give up on their dreams, how many people sleep on the opportunity. They don't pick up the phone, they don't make the effort, and they're like, man, it's never going to happen for me. You are dang right it's never going to happen for you if you don't put the work in. Right? But what I want to talk to you guys tonight is, I'm not going to yell at you, I promise. That was just a little soapbox I had to get on. And Jeremy, I just want to say thank you, dude, so much, man. We're so proud of you and what you're doing, man. I know, just with working with Ian, like for the last year, like a little over a year ago with you, just seeing your growth, dude. I'm just so excited for you, dude. And then you're getting married and your business and your kids, dude. It's just so awesome to see just that the faithfulness from God coming through in your life, dude. I'm so excited for you. So sorry, I heard some weird noises outside my door. I'm pretty sure it's Axel. He's got a friend over, so we don't know what's going to happen, guys, so bear with me. But we're in it. So all right, hey, I want to talk to you guys. The talk I have for you all, if I can find it, would be great. I called it Navigating the Hard, right? I'm going to talk to you guys about navigating the hard, because one really cool thing about Primerica is it is hard, right? Jeremy, it's so funny. You're like, you brought up that one little quote. I was like, I'm literally going to talk about this, right? Like Primerica's hard, but it's not. It's actually really, really simple, right? This business is very, very simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy, right? And I want to give you guys a couple, just these are in no particular order, and there is not a theme at all to my talk tonight, other than just things that you need to understand and you need to be able to internalize and work through in order to navigate the hard things that you're going to run into in your business, but really in your life, right? In your business. But I mean, this will be helpful for those of you that are just on here for a little motivational speech and new 0 by 0 for the last 6 years. This will help you too, okay? So first off, you want to take your negatives up and your positives down. Okay, what do I mean? How many of you all have kids? Just put me in the Zoom chat real quick. You got kids, you're about to have kids, right? You're pregnant, whatever it might be. You got them, about to have them, want to have them. Listen, don't take the crap that's going on in your life and vomit that all over your children. Now, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you being honest. Right, congrats, Jerome and Mel are pregnant. Apparently, we just found out in the Zoom chat. That's exciting. But so anyway, but listen, your negatives go up and the positives go down, right? So with my kids, I'm not gonna call my kids and be like, okay, we're struggling with this and with that, and we got all this other stuff happening, and like this is just a lot. No, I'm not gonna tell them that, right? I don't need to tell them. right? I don't need to tell them that. But what I am going to tell them is all the cool stuff happening, right? The good things going on, right? The exciting things in our life, right? Hey, when you are an upline for somebody, so when you bring somebody in and you're training them and one of your people quit, you should not be calling your new person and being like, oh, Jeremy, I can't believe it. I just recruited Jerome and he wants to quit already. This is stupid. That is not going to help. That is not going to help your new person have the belief in the business, right? You should call your upline, right? Like if you have some problem, like Leah, you got a problem with the downline, you don't call a different downline to complain. You call Cass and you say, Cass, I got an issue. I need your help. Can you help me resolve this problem? Right? Listen, as much as we want to mitigate negative things in our life and not let that stuff come around us, it inevitably will work its way around you, right? So you got to figure out how to say, hey, coach, I need help with this. And when you got good news, you go to your downline first. You call your team. Dude, like I'm calling everyone on our team, just talking about what's happening in our business when it's good stuff. Man, we got this going on. This guy just recruited this person. We got this thing happening. This business closed because I want them to see that the good things are moving in the business, right? I want them to be excited about it, right? The second thing is steward your own money well. Guys, listen, we've learned this many times in different ways and different levels and different problems and stuff like that. It's never that we haven't made money. It's that we have not, if I'm being honest with you, over the course of my life, I've not stewarded money all that well. Right? Like this is just a moment of truth with you all. Right? I'm good at making money. I am better at spending it. Right? This is just a fact of who I am. And I'm getting way better at that now. But you can't outrun bad money habits. You can't. You will not. I promise you. Trust me. I assure you, you will not outrun bad money habits. The thing with Primerica is once you're an RVP, you can push through whatever you want, right? And it's not great sometimes. Right? You're like, this guy's got diabetes, stage 28 cancer, and they're 4'2", 900 pounds. They're like, COD, nope, approved, right? You know dang well that's going to get declined, right? But you're pushing it through. Why? Because you got to come up with something to cover the bad decisions you made 2 months ago to go into debt, right? Listen, these are things decisions that we made. Like we have a truck right now that I really do like the truck a lot, but when we bought the truck, it was off really bad advice from someone who was coaching me and mentoring me when we got started in the business. Hey, if you have more debt and more bills, you're going to work harder. Wrong. It's going to stress you the F out. Like take care of your money, right? And learn how to pay your crap. You know what's nice? Not having debt, right? You know what's nice? Being debt-free. Credit cards paid off, right? A cash, dude, I'll drive a freaking Prius all day long. I do not care. I am so over what you think about what I post on my stories in the car that I drive to the gym in the morning. Listen, you can mock me, Calvin, all day for the Prius that I want to buy. I'm gonna buy a 2012 Prius for like $8,000, or not $8,000, like $800. I'm gonna drive that thing to 400,000 miles with no car payment. And Calvin's gonna be like, why'd you get rid of that dumb truck? I got rid of that dumb truck because that Prius gets me 1,000 miles to the gallon, right? But what am I able to do with all the gas money that we save, right? You get out of debt, you can invest, you can be smart with your money. You can do what you tell your clients to do. Isn't that a crazy idea? Right? I'm just being honest. I'm just being real with you all. Right? We've made poor financial decisions both with the gym and in this business. And it took a lot to learn. And it was not fun. Right? And you if you are not ready, right? If you're not ready to start making money and have 10, 15 grand coming through your bank, if you don't have a system in place of where to put it, it's all going to disappear. You got to, dude, listen, like it drives me absolutely insane, Jackie, when people tell me, they're like, well, Dan, once I make money, then I'll invest. Once I make money, then I'll get out of debt. Once I make money, then no, you won't. No, you will not. Oh, if I made more money, I'd give to the church. I'd be more charitable. No, you wouldn't. No, you find other things to spend that money on. right? How many of you all have ever gotten a raise before? Type me in the Zoom chat real quick. You ever got a raise at your job? Yes or no? Few of you all. Okay, cool. When you got that raise, did you have more money left over in your bank account at the end of each month, or did you somehow magically figure out a way to make more money disappear just as fast as you did before? You got to make a change. Guys, I'm telling you, it's been 3 years of me making good decisions, less good decisions, bad decision, better decision, right? And just figuring out how to navigate that. Right? Yeah, you bought more coffee, right? You chose bad coffee, but that's your choice. But you buy more, so you go to Starbucks, you go to Bigby, Dunkin', whatever it is, right? You got to learn how to steward your money well. Number 3, I think that's number 3, be truthful, but also encouraging. This is also hard for me sometimes. Because I got people will be like, oh, I need help. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. You need to set appointments and you need to run appointments. That's why that's why you're stuck, because you're not doing anything, right? Like, but you could also be nice, right? Like, hey, you did this before. Right? Like, Leah, I know I'm not gonna I'll pick on you a little bit, but I know you did not have the month last month that you wanted to. I see you laughing. I think you're laughing at me, but that's okay. But like you have done big numbers before, yes? So you can do it again, but you're not where you want to be, right? Are you making the decisions to get better? Are you working through some of the things that you need to do to work through, right? I'm not talking to Leah directly. Karen's like, are you talking to me? I'm talking to every one of you that did not finish where you wanted to finish last month. Have you ever produced the numbers that you wanted to produce, right? You had a goal of going 3x5 last month. Have you ever done that before? Yes? Okay, so you can do it, right? Like, let's get back to what we were doing when we did that before. No, I've never done that before, right? I've never done that before, Jeff. I've never done 3x5. Okay, well, I have. Let me help you. Every day we're going to meet for 10 minutes. We're going to make calls. You're going to tell me what you did, what you set, how many numbers you got, the prospecting that you did. And if you do that for a month, I promise you, you'll hit 3x5. I assure you, it's a done freaking deal. It's a wrap, right? You have to be, when you like, and you have to be truthful with yourself. If you're not willing to make the sacrifices that you're going to need to make to get to RVP, right? Like if I know for a fact that with a group of 60 people, a lot of newer people, probably 20 of you on here on right, if I were to guess, so like, I want to be an RVP at some point in the near 12 to 18 month future, I want to get to regional vice president. Then the next question is, are you willing to do whatever it takes for you to get there, as long as it's legal, moral, and ethical? Right? I will never ask you to do something illegal. I will never ask you to break your morals. I'll never ask you to do something that's not right for the client. Are you willing to do everything else it takes to get there? Are you willing to stay up late and study till midnight or 1 o'clock? Are you willing to jump on a kitchen table appointment with a single dad who works a 3rd shift factory at 3 a.m. and close a life app that's going to pre-qualify you for RVP? We did that in December of 2021. We had 2 days left. We had to hit the numbers. And I was like, I don't care. We already hit it, but I'm going to go throw this thing in. It's 3 a.m. I jumped on a training appointment with Brad, one of my friends, at literally 3 a.m. and close that life app. Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to stay up late and get up early? Are you willing to go to the gym? Are you willing to eat good, right? Are you willing to get better? Dude, look, I know, like, sometimes it's like, dude, I want to win, but I'm not willing to get better. Like, you have to be willing, Esri, to just swallow all the bull crap that's coming your way and say, I'm going to face it, and I'm going to face it head on, and we're going to run all the way through this thing. You have to become the wall upon which everything else in your life breaks. You have to be so solid that none of the crap happening around you will affect you. Right? And listen, I'm not telling you not to be a human, not to have feelings, not to have an emotion, not to talk to people. But what I am telling you is that, like, when someone says no, you have to be able, Michael, to just freaking move on, get over it, right? You will survive, I assure you. Right? We have to be able to make the decision to get better. Right? Guys, death and life are in the power of the tongue. It's a Proverbs. I don't like the King James Version, but I found a picture already made, so I used it. But death and life are in the power of the tongue. What are you talking about to your team? When you're laying down in your bed at night, what are you speaking over your own life in the silence and the darkness when you're by yourself? right? When your spouse fell asleep and you're awake, right? And you're laying there and you're thinking the thoughts that we all think at night. Is it death or is it life? Is it positive? Is it negative? Right? Listen, it's not always positive. For me, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm the most positive person in the world. I'm definitely not. But most of the time, I can catch myself. Most of the time, I can say, you know what? Why am I even thinking about this? It costs me no extra brain power to be positive than to be negative. Right? If it can get negative, right? If it can get negative real quick, why can't it get positive real quick? If I'm going to be in $100,000 of debt in 3 years if I don't pay anything off, why am I not going to be in $200,000 of mutual funds if I get to work? Right? Like you just have to be able to say, you know what? I'm not going to speak negatively to my kids. I'm not going to speak negatively to my partner. Some of you all, that's like your thing, right? It's like, my partner is my punching bag, right? I almost asked you to put it in the chat. Don't put it in the chat, but honest question to yourself. How many of you all, your partner, your spouse is your punching bag or your kids? What do I mean by that? Not physically. If it's physically, you have a problem. You need to get fixed. You need to go talk to somebody. But if it is mentally and emotionally, you come home from work or you get off an appointment and you're going through it, and I just freaking unload on Jeff, like, oh, this person said this, and the dishes aren't done, and this isn't done, and that's not done, and all this other stuff, like, and I'm just ripping into Taylor. Like, how in the world is that going to make her feel? And why would she be any more positive? Right? Life and death is in the power of your words. It's in the power of what you speak over your people. Right? This is a total side note, but there's a spiritual gift, and one of the spiritual gifts is prophecy. And I used to think, be honest with you, I grew up in church, and for 29 years, I thought that was like fortune telling, if I'm being honest with you. Like the spiritual gift of prophecy is like, you can tell the future. Like, and that is one of the meanings of prophecy, but the main primary reason, if you look at and read the context, prophecy is actually speaking life into people. Right? It's getting people to see more in themselves than what they can currently see, speaking things into existence, working things so a spiritual gift I have is a gift of prophecy, of pushing people up, of giving them positive and encouragement in their life to help them elevate to where I believe God's called them to be. That is a gift that I have. Not all of us possess that gift. So you have to work on it. Right? You got to catch yourself saying, man, I can't believe you would do this, or why isn't this clean or that clean or whatever. And you got to stop yourself and you have to redirect that in a positive way immediately. Do it right away. Cass always talks about backspace, 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 right? In that negative mindset, you're talking negative over your kids, over your partner, your business. You have to stop yourself and do backspace, 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 get back to where you started, and then turn it around and be positive. Right? It's so important that you learn how to do this stuff. Right, guys, and a worker is worth his wages. I'm going to set some of you free right now, okay? Is that okay? Listen, there is nothing wrong with you making more money than your family, than your parents, than your pastor, than your mentor, than your brother, your sister. There's nothing wrong with you getting paid what you're worth getting paid. It is okay. Guys, I'm telling you, for years of my life, I thought that if I made money, I didn't love God. And I will tell you straight up that is not true. And I am the last person you want to come at with a prosperity gospel thing. I will shut you down so fast. But I don't believe that God wants you to be poor. Right? I don't believe that God wants you to struggle. I don't believe any of that. Right? And what I believe for you is that you should be paid for the effort that you put in. Well, Dan, I'm running appointments all day. Okay, but how much time are you spending like really learning how to overcome objections? How much time are you spending working on your skill with people? How much time are you spending learning investments, right? Jeff got on a call with me for 30 minutes yesterday to talk through some investment stuff for a client that we met with this morning, right? For Michelle. And so Jeff did that. A different Jeff did that. Jerome helped me. Nate helped me a little bit with that, right? There's so many people, like I put in probably 10 hours over the last 3 days on one possible maybe deal. Why? Because I needed to learn how to actively have these actual conversations and what would be the best bet. And I saw multiple solutions, and I went to a wholesaler and figured out the best option for the client. Because we do what's right 100% of the time. How easy would it been for me, Jeff, to be like, hey, we should put X amount of dollars into an IUL and it's downside protection, and I'll make a couple hundred G's off that right off the rip. But would that have been better for the client? No. And you get paid for the work that you put in when no one's looking. Guys, dude, I'm telling you right now, like, if you, and it's a little bit different now, if I'm being honest with you, like a little bit of my focus has shifted to like the church plan and the things we got going on here in Myrtle Beach and some of the stuff that we're doing for like God's kingdom. I'm being honest with you, it's shifted a little bit in my mindset of like some of the stuff that I'm working on. But man, when I was brand new in the business, you could ask Taylor, it was freaking Ian, Andy, SoundClouds all the time. All the I legitimately did not listen to anything other than Primerica audios in my headphones, in my ears, for at least the first 6 months. Because Jeff, if it was up to me, I was going to get really freaking good at this thing. Why? Because I know that I'm going to get paid by the effort that I put in to learn. Right? And I know that it's worth it for me. Right? Guys, dreams will never work unless you do. Some of you guys have some massive dreams. You're like, man, Dan, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to get financially free. I want to leave a business for my kids. I want to insert thing, right? How many of you have a dream currently right now in your life that you actually are thinking right now that it might never happen? Like, if you're being honest, I'm being honest with you. I have one. Right? Like there's dreams in my life, things that I want to accomplish that I'm like, man, that stretches my vision so far, Jeff, outside of what I can possibly believe to be in the realm of truth for my life. But I'm willing to work for it. Right? Taylor wants a house on the stilts on Myrtle Beach. That's what she wants. And I'm like, man, that is something that I want to do. But right now I'm like, dang, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of money, right? That's going to take some time, some effort, some energy, right? That's going to take some focus, some serious saving, some learning, some networking, right? That's going to take a lot. But dude, like, you can do it. But man, if I'm being honest with you right now, I'm like, I don't know how the heck, Leah, this is gonna happen with our current situation. How are we getting there? But if I work hard and when I show up and when I'm guys, look, when I made it, well, unshare my screen. That was the last slide. Jerome and I were talking earlier today. I made a gut level decision a couple months ago to get back to work. Right? We were doing some stuff with home office, just dealing with a couple of things that, almost quit a couple of times just due to some circumstances. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna get into all that. It's all resolved at this point. Everything is good to go right now. And a couple months ago, I was like, dude, I'm ready to go freaking build this thing again. I'm ready to get after it, Jeff. I'm ready to work harder and smarter than I've ever worked in this business before, ever in my life. And then God's like, but first, move to Myrtle Beach. I was like, son of a bee, right? I was so mad because, Jeff, I made a decision right after convention or right before convention to get to work. Right? And then we go on this stupid little it's not a stupid family vacation, little family trip to Columbia, South Carolina. And I was like, man, I feel like God was calling us to move to Myrtle Beach, plant a church. And I was like, I have to be obedient in that. Right. And so for the next month after convention, we didn't do anything. Right. We didn't really do much in the business. I mean, we recruited a little bit, we built a little bit. Don't get me wrong. So we didn't do nothing, but we didn't do much. Right. And I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys. Right. Like, I'm just being honest with you. And I was like, I'm cool making like 80 grand a year, 100 grand a year on my own pen. Right. And then we got here, Jeff, and Taylor's like, I like that house on the ocean on the stilts. So I was like, me too. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't like, and we started dreaming again, to be honest with you. Because to be real with you, like, our dreams were kind of squashed for a minute there. I was like, this is dumb. I'm over it. Right. I just, like, some of y'all know, like, our situation with my previous upline and how all of that worked out. And I was just like, man, if that's how it's going to be, I'm out. I don't want anything to do with it, right? I'm keeping it real with you guys right now. And I made a gut level decision to get after it. And man, it's just been so cool. Like the good people that have come into our business since then. Like a couple weeks ago, when we really, like beginning of September is when I'd say we really turned it on, right? And we really started working. We recruited, I know the thing said 7, I recruited 12 direct people, built some under some teammates and stuff like that last month. And you know, just the life insurance business that comes through, the investments, the recruits, the like random things that have happened that have built, like God just provided such a cool and an encouraging way for us in our business. But I want to encourage you and tell you that like you have to make that gut level decision to get after it. And the second that you make that gut level decision, something dumb is going to happen. I promise. That's going to it's going to be like gut level decision. And then like not great thing happens in your life. And you're like, oh my gosh, like for real. Like I just quit my job and now this happened, my engine went out of my car or something like that. Look, I'm not trying to speak negative into your life, but I'm just to keep it real with you. Like I believe that when you make that decision, like you are going to get tested as to how true that decision was. And you got to be ready and willing to say, you know what? We're going to do it anyway. Right? Like like in spite of my grandpa and the sickness stuff that he's going with. And that was like he is such a like inspirational person to me. Like I try not to think about that because that's tough right now. And like moving and all this other stuff happening, like friends that just cut me off for no reason. You don't know why. Like all that stuff happens right as you make a gut level decision to go get after it. And then you got to move. Everything would be like, yeah, just chill. Like that makes sense. Just chill out, get a job, make it happen. But no, you got to go get after it, guys. You got to fight for your dreams. You got to fight for the things that you've been called to. And I promise you, you've been called to more than what you think you have been. Right? There's more inside of you than what you think there is. And you have to be plugged into the source. Right? You can't miss a Friday. You can't miss a Sunday. You can't miss the trainings because those are the things that keep you alive. Right? Those little you'll catch something here. I hope something you heard tonight motivated you. I hope something here tonight encouraged you or kept your heart excited about this business. And guys, look, we're at the beginning of October. We got 2 months left of Universal, 3 months left for the year. If you want to have a big end of the year, if you want to have a big December and you want to explode your business into the new year, you have to start right now. Because if you wait until November, I promise you, December is a month that a lot of people cancel appointments. We have a great month every year in December. Our December is always pretty good, but I have to set a lot more appointments to get on them. I'm just being real with you. So you gotta get after it right now. You gotta ramp your activity up and go fight for this thing. Every single one of you on this call should be 3x5 this month. You have so much time to make it happen. 3 recruits, 5,000 in sales, where it happens, where it starts, Sarah, 3x5. And your team is watching to see if you do it. Right? Because if you do it, your team will believe in it. If I do it, your team's will be like, yeah, he's an RVP. He talks every Friday. You should do it. That's normal. But if you do it, they're like, oh, wait, shoot, Dana did it. I could do it. Shelby did it. Dang, I could do it. Jason did it. I could probably do it. And they start to believe. Right? This is a belief business. Where's your belief at? How heavy and focused are you on this thing? Guys, go get after it. Have an amazing weekend. Be safe. Set your freaking appointments, guys. Look, I know it's Friday, Saturday. I know you part-timers don't. We tell you Monday through Friday, but listen, set your 2. Set your 2 tomorrow. Set your 2 on Sunday. Come into next week with some momentum. Get after it, guys. We love you all. Have an amazing week.